If you get injured, how do you get paid? You work for a living. You got to make sure that you're getting all the lost wages that you would have received by that injury.
Now, if your paycheck is not what it once was and you are hurt, we have some help here to talk about shortened work-life expectancy and how injured workers may be entitled to future wage earnings is attorney Dallas Horton. Good morning. Thank you so much for coming back.
It's great having you.
And thanks for having me down, Sean.
We're learning about shortened work-life expectancy now. We were talking about it off camera just a second ago, and this is smart. I mean, a lot of people don't think about this, but tell me exactly what is this?
Okay, I spent the morning with Dr. Cloretti at UNLV, and I had to talk to him, obviously, because I'm a lawyer. He's the expert. And I work with him and a guy named Tony Gamboa, who wrote the Gamboa tables. Everyone knows what our life expectancy is. This is common sense. You know, we live 73 to 78, depending on whether we're male or female. We also have a work-life expectancy. Now, it is common sense that if someone has a spinal fusion, hardware put in their back because they blew a disc, they're not going to be able to work as long as someone who never blew that disc and had the hardware put into their back as a result of trauma.
Yeah.
It's roughly 5 to 7 years shorter once you have that fusion placed in. The same is true with a knee replacement or a hip replacement. Catastrophic injuries that result in surgeries frequently shorten our work-life expectancy. People's highest income that they earn is in the last 5 to 7 years of their life.
Really?
It's not in the first 5 to 7, yes.
I always thought it was like the 40s would be the most.
Absolutely not. You're most skilled and most experienced later on in your life, and you have the most value. You've been promoted, you've worked the whole time, you've moved up the company, your benefits grow within companies. All of that matters, including contributions to your retirement plan. So I had a client, and this is why I was dying to talk to you. We had a client come in a few weeks ago and said, oh, I have no lost wages. You know, I was out of work at the time of the accident. Well, that meant they didn't have past lost wages.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean they did not have future lost wages, because you have a lifetime that you earn wages throughout.
Yeah.
And a great example is a woman who has kids. She gets in an accident, and right now she's not working because she's taking her kids to and from school.
Yeah.
Does that mean because she was in the accident she'll never made money in her life? Absolutely not. And we all understand it in those terms. We would say to that lovely lady who had kids, well, of course you're going to go back to work. We know you do after your kids go to school, because that's what most American women do. It is no different if you are out of work at the time. You would go back to work. I'm concerned now. Many people are trying to handle their own claims, and that's okay. But if you're trying to handle your own claim, be aware you may need to contact an expert like Dr. Cloretti and Dr. Gamboa, because the insurance company is not going to give you credit for a shortened work-life expectancy. You have to prove that.
A lot of people don't know where to turn to, so it's very tough to try to do this on your own.
It is. It is difficult, and I don't mind if people do it. And if they do it, I want them to know people like Dr. Cloretti and Dr. Gamboa are out there. And if they're dealing with an insurance company, they need to make sure they let them know, hey, I had a spinal fusion. I'm not going to be able to work as long as I could.
What type of other cases have you taken up? Is it mostly accidents with truckers, or how are they getting injured, these people?
My clients are usually automobile accidents, trucking accidents, slip and fall accidents, things falling off of ceilings down onto people's heads. They're generally speaking people who are hurt due to no fault of their own when they're just trying to lead their lives.
Does insurance typically cover them, though, in a case, let's say if it was outside and something fell on top of them, the property insurance will cover them?
Yes, it should. Yes, ma'am. It should.
Okay.
And that is what insurance is for on your premises, for things like something falling onto your head. That's called premises liability. And when you're in an auto accident, always remember, if a trucker hits you, he has an insurance company, and that insurance company's duty is to the trucker, not to you, the injured person. They have shareholders, and they're supposed to pay those shareholders based on profits. So their actual duty is to pay you as little as possible so they can make the most profit they can for their company and protect their truck driver.
So ultimately, they're going to try to not pay you for the wages that you lost out on in the long term.
Absolutely. They'll never consider future lost wages if you don't work it up. They're just not going to do it. You've got to get out there, and if somebody has a question, they're trying to do it on their own, they can call my law firm. We'll answer your questions. We're not going to say you have to come in and be our client. You know, we want everyone to do okay, and we want people to take care of themselves. And what we don't want is anyone taken advantage of by the insurance companies. I mean, that's truly every lawyer who's in personal injury law. Our dream is just take care of these people.
Yeah.
We would not have jobs if they would just do that. And believe me, there are many areas of the law we can go practice in. There really are. Yeah. Most of us do this because we feel there's a need for us here. We're well trained, we're trial lawyers, we can try whatever cases we want. So if the insurance companies would start acting right, everybody could just let all the PI bar go.
Well, over the years of your work, have you seen the insurance companies kind of working a little bit more for the people, or a little bit pushing back and saying, oh, no, this isn't the way it is? Does it become harder or easier?
In my $8.9 million verdict last year, they didn't offer us even $300,000 to settle the case.
What happened in that case?
$8.9 million verdict, and over $1.5 million of her damages were her future lost wages.
Wow.
Okay? So $1.5 million of that claim was what she cannot do in the future.